we are like,
Hi, this is Ishan Shahane from Rev Sports, and you're tuning in for the opening match of the WPL. Gagi
and Ishan is so
who's in
excited
Bangalore
that
at the moment,
his
along with
internet
Trisha.
probably.
Gagi, first of all, happy. Yes. Am I back?
Sorry,
Yes,
can you
you're.
repeat, please?
Yes, Gagi. I wanted to ask you, you're in Bangalore at the moment. There's a lot of buzz over there. How's the crowd build up?
Actually, the crowd is driving me crazy. I never expected a women's cricket match to have this much crowd. You will not believe
Wow.
what I've seen tonight. There is, I think, a 1 kilometer long queue outside still, okay, from one of the other gates, and it is incredible. So much fireworks, so much drama, so much glamorization by the BCCI, and props to them for bringing all this attention to WPL, because getting Shah Rukh Khan, first of all, is not an easy task. But of course, if there's anyone who could do it, it was Jesha, it was BCCI, and it has been done. Everyone over here is talking about Shah Rukh Khan, not just Shah Rukh Khan, okay? They're actually having intellectual conversations about cricket as well, about women's cricket. I've heard, from little kids to men to women to young girls and boys, you are, if they're talking about the matches, they're talking about the teams, they're discussing the
Yes.
teams. A while ago, really fast, the team bus went by, and usually players are the crowd is not enamored by women's cricketers, but this
Yeah.
time you saw that everyone went crazy when they saw these cricketers, so it's a really good sight to see.
No, 100% Gagi, and I think Trisha will agree with that as well. Trisha is a big women's cricket supporter, so I'm sure you must be thrilled as well seeing all of this.
Absolutely. I think I had said this in WPL season one. It's a dream come true. And to see the kind of crowd. In fact, I was speaking to Gargi on video call sometime back. I was actually seeing people running towards the stadium. And it was magical feeling. I know people might be wondering why is it a magical feeling to see so much crowd? Because I think we women cricketers, or we have always heard that when you play, nobody wants to watch. And these cricketers have changed it. BCCI has changed the game completely. It is so good to see it. And when I saw those people running behind Ishan, I think I was already 100% charged up, but now I'm 1000% charged up.
Oh, 100%. But it's a big game, Gagi. Mumbai Indians taking on the Delhi Capitals. Two big teams, these are two big teams with some great players. So when you're looking at the lineup, just at the blink of the eye at the moment, which team do you think is slightly stronger?
You know what it is, Ishan? There's a reason why these two teams played the finals last year. They're incredibly good teams with incredibly good captains, Meg Lanning especially. A lot of credit to Meg Lanning for the way that she led Delhi
Yes.
Capitals in the last edition. But when we look at those teams, Mumbai Indians has always been known for this. Even in IPL, they always have a good streak of. They always do very well in the auction. That's what they did this year and last year as well. And they have a very, very well balanced team. And there's not a lot of teams that you can say that they are balanced in WPL as of now. But when you look at MI, it's a very, very balanced team, and you have firepower as well as a lot of stability in that team. When you look at those all-rounders, Annabelle
Yeah.
Sutherland and the rest, there's a lot of firepower in there. And when you look at Delhi Capitals, it's a team you want them to win, right? With the likes of Minu Mani, I'm really, really excited to see if she makes the debut. Actually, I don't have the updates right now, but if Minu Mani is playing, I think it's going to be very, very incredible. Plus,
I think,
an incredible game, and it's going to be
Yes.
incredibly exciting
This,
to see these two teams play.
okay. Yes. Trisha, I'll ask you the same question as well. Two big teams, any exciting players you're looking out for?
absolutely. But before I go to that, Ishan,
Yeah.
Mumbai Indians have won the toss and they have
Okay.
decided to field first. That's
Ooh.
the toss
Okay.
update. Mumbai Indians have won the toss. Harmanpreet has won the toss and decided to field first.
Field first. Okay.
Ishan, Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals in WPL is a derby match. Absolutely. It's a clash of the highest order. You have all the international players, the top international players in both the sides, be it a Nat Silverbrand, be it Sutherland for DC, Marizanne Cap. We don't know. Marizanne Cap didn't play the last match against for South Africa against Australia, so we have to see if Cap plays. But overall, I think both the sides have star powers. They have some very good Indian players as well. Uh, Still, I think I will go with Gargi. DC is such a team. Somehow you want DC to do well. Especially there's a certain Meg
Yeah.
Lanning who met Shah Rukh Khan, the famous Shah Rukh Khan pose. They did it together, and Meg Lanning is a character, seriously. She has retired from international cricket. I would love to see her do well in WPL.
Okay.
Overall,
Yes.
I think you cannot get bigger than this. It cannot get better than this. Starting off with Mumbai Indians versus Delhi Capitals is like the perfect start to the tournament.
Yep, it's a crack of a game. And Gagi, Meg Lanning was spoken about. How much do you think her experience will be valued in that Delhi Capitals lineup?
Is that even a question? Come on, Meg Lanning, the most successful captain in cricket history.
Yes.
I won't even say women's cricket only. You know, 7-time World Cup winner. That's not something you just get up and do. That is something you work hard for. And the way that Meg Lanning has led Australia, I mean, it's it does help to have a very good lineup behind you, but you don't just accidentally win seven
Yep.
World Cups on a fluke, right? So there's something about Meg Lanning, and it's not just me. Anyone who talks to Meg Lanning knows, you know what I'm saying. There's just some aura about her, some leadership skill that you can't help but be enamored by. And Meg Lanning with Delhi Capitals, I think that was one of the best picks in the auction last year. Uh,
I
I thought
completely agree.
Meg Lanning would honestly be the most expensive player, but somehow that didn't happen. But still, that's just something you cannot replace, you cannot replicate.
Yep. I mean, I can't agree more. Trisha, there's another captain that we to talk about. It's Harmanpreet Kaur. Now, this is someone that we've spoken a lot about in the past. She hasn't been in the best of form for Team India. So this is an opportunity for her to again probably, try getting some runs under her belt and, get that form back. How important is the WPL for her?
I think absolutely important because she'll be carrying this form forward as well, and especially the hard time that she is coming from. She
Yeah.
needs a good win
Yeah.
under her belt, and most importantly, as a captain, also she needs to be much better because this is T20 game. It can quickly slip out of your hand. You know, a Shafali attacking you, Meg Lanning attacking you. As a captain, you are tested. But I think Harman is also a bit lucky, I would say, in a way, because Mumbai Indians were spot on in the auction. See the leadership team Harman has around her. She has a Nat brand, the experience, the star power, everything about Nat Brandt is fantastic. Then she has got Haley Matthews, who leads West Indies. So she has a lot of people to help her around, which is important when,
Yeah.
especially when you're going through a bad phase. You know what, Ishan? Bad phases and good phases have this weird things. When you're going through a bad phase, simple things can go wrong, and when you're
Yeah.
going through a good phase, your bad decisions can suddenly become the best decisions ever. So I
Yes.
think
Yes.
and especially when you are coming up against a strategist like Meg Lanning,
Mhm.
I think it will be a big test for Harmanpreet. Also, Ishan, I think there are two questions from Siddharth Sharma, if you can take that.
Yes. Okay, so Siddharth Sharma is asking, I want Harmanpreet and especially Shafali to find some major form before the T20 World Cup. Now, I think all of us want that because Shafali Verma is someone that I spoke a lot about, and even I'm hoping ki, chalo runs bana do yaar, somewhere. Let's get some runs going. So I think all of us expecting that. Ragi, let's talk about Shafali Verma here. Dynamax player, T20 expert, but she has to get going, right?
You know what? Shafali Verma is sitting on top of a lot of potential. And
Mm.
because she's so young, it is potential that can be used, that can be exploited by the franchisees as well as BCCI and the Indian team as well. right now, I
Yeah.
think with Shafali Verma, I think there might be a little bit of a mental block because there's no problem with her skill. Okay, she's doing very very well, and she's one of a kind batter. With women's cricket, it's still a growing sport, and especially in India, with the
Hmm.
competitive level of domestic cricket in India is not as good as, let's say, England or Australia or New Zealand. So we don't find aggressive batters still like
Yes.
Shafali Verma. Shafali Verma is fearless, and she is someone who needs to be used by franchises as well as the Indian team. But right now, I think she has a lot of potential, and once she gets through that mental block, it's over for everyone else.
Yes. Trisha, your thoughts on Shafali Verma?
I think she's an absolute talent. But then again, Ishan, I think we have spoken a lot. I'll just take this comment and add on it
Yes.
because this is also about Shafali. Moisture on the Siddharth says moisture on the pitch, ball swinging in the first 3-4 overs, first match jitters. Hope Shafali aces this challenge
Hmm.
today and in the World Cup. Uh, the only time can say whether Shafali will ace this challenge or not. But the truth is, Shafali has been in fantastic form in the
Yeah.
domestic circuit. In fact, Haryana just under her captaincy has just won the under 23 one dayers. So she will be coming with a lot of confidence. And
Yes.
that's what I think domestic cricket also does. The best part is, Ishan, even Shafali was not in good form, but she went back to domestic cricket. She went back, she scored there. Yes, a lot of people might say that once you have played international cricket, scoring in domestic becomes easier. And that is all the more reason you should go back when you're not scoring to domestic cricket,
Yeah.
get your confidence back, and get your the run scoring momentum back. That's exactly what has happened with Chapali. And let's not forget, it's Chinnaswamy. So the
Run
ground
scoring.
is small. We will
Yes.
see a lot of sixes. I won't be surprised if we see 180s and 200s quite easily at in the first phase of WPL. And I do think that this is Indian ground. It is a place where Indian domestic players will be used to the conditions. I'm expecting fireworks from Shafali, and especially remember there's a Meg Lanning at the other end
Yeah.
who's going to talk to her continuously. There was a picture of Shafali and Meg Lanning. You should have seen the way Shafali was looking at Meg Lanning. You could see that she was in complete awe. She was being inspired by Meg. And I think this is the best opportunity for Shafali to come from that talent to becoming a proper player who has absolutely cemented her position in the team.
Yes, I think all of us can hope for the
Yeah.
same. There's another question here. Uh, I really wanted Sheetal Devi, the archer, to be there for the opening ceremony. Okay, this is not related to the match exactly, but we'll come back to this later. Gagi, I'm a big fan of Jemima Rodriguez. I've spoken about her a lot as well. So she's a key player. Your thoughts on Jemima?
I also think I go back whenever I think of Jemima. I go back to maybe 2017 or 16 when I was just a kid and I was playing.
Hmm.
And I actually bowled to Jemima in one of the net sessions. They were there for, I think, the Senior Women's ODI Trophy. And
Okay.
I was bowling to Smriti and Jemima and all of them as well. And Jemima is such a breath of fresh air, not breath of fresh air, whatever I was saying. But she's such a breath of fresh air, even
Yeah.
even in the Indian circuit, even with the batting. Actually, she's very traditional that way when it comes to her batting. But she's someone who can still score, who doesn't need extraordinarily out of the box shots to score runs, which is what Jemima does. So still playing this
Okay.
year and
Yeah.
looking forward to her to doing good.
Yes, Prisha, Jemima is obviously, just a superstar. But there's another fast bowler that you and me were really backing, and that's Preeta Sadhu. You especially were thrilled when she picked up those wickets. Talk about her because I know that you're extremely happy to see her playing as well, and you're someone who's backed talent, consistently. So talk us through Preeta Sadhu.
I think, Ishan, India really lacks good pace bowlers. Ever since Jhulandi has retired, we have barely found good pace bowlers. Shikha Pandey has done well in the domestic, but of course, for various reasons, she has not been picked up. She has not been backed. But Rita Shadu is an excellent, excellent
Hmm.
talent. And one of the most important things is, if you're a pace bowler, you are supposed to bowl fast. And that is what the girl does, you
Yeah.
know. She's a lot like a typical pacer, you know, approaching the pitch with full flow, and there's something about her which tells you that she's giving 500% to every single delivery. And what that eventually does is, because everyone is in general used to playing at a very average pace, and then when someone like
Hmm.
Titash comes up, it's very difficult to face her, and she has variations as well. That is the
Yeah.
more important part, because shorter formats of the game will always test you. And that is where I feel that, you know, Meg as the captain again in BC becomes very important, because Sitash, a young bowler, might end up being thrashed, but somebody has to go and talk to her continuously and keep saying that you have it in you. You just have to back yourself. One bad match does not define Atita Shadu. Much like a player that probably Ishan, you and we are not talking about, because ever since her international debut, she hasn't really done well. And that's Saika Ishak,
Yeah.
another talented bowler. And you tell us, what do you think? Because you have seen Saika bowl, you have covered India matches, you have covered India A matches. See, Ishan, you tell us, do you see Saika coming back to form now in WPL?
Trisha, that's a great question. And I think the WPL provides an opportunity. So all these young girls, like you mentioned, Shafali Verma, Meg Lanning, there's a lot to learn from and there's a lot of inspiration that you can take from these players. So no better opportunity than the WPL to, go out and try your skills once again. Because you're not playing for India. Okay, there's obviously that sort of responsibility. It's a huge platform once again. You cannot let your team down, your fan down. But it's an opportunity for you to go and express yourselves and do it freely without the burden of playing for your country. So I think if the players, the girls take that into consideration, I think you can see a lot more fireworks from each one of them. Because I feel when you're playing at the international stage, you at times get burdened for playing for your
Absolutely.
country, which can add to the pressure and which probably does not lead to great performances. So I think this is an opportunity for them to just go out, express yourself, and maybe get some runs and wickets.
Absolutely.
I
I
think
think
Gagi,
for Saika,
yeah,
Gargi, but we also have to consider something, Gargi. I wanted to
You
ask you about this. Yeah, sorry, Gargi, you're on mute. No,
yes,
my question to you is, uh, the
is
spinners
it good now?
will be, yeah,
you're good. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, I was saying that you're so right when you say that it's an opportunity as well as there's
hmm.
added pressure of performing and but that's what makes or breaks cricketers or any
Yeah,
sports person for that reason. Uh, it's all about your mental fortitude, what mindset you're in. If you're going to go in with pressure, with the weight of the world on your shoulders, you're not going to perform well. That's just a given. There's
yes,
one thing about having responsibility, but putting pressure on yourself, doubting yourself, being anxious, letting the nerves get the best of you. Those are the things that will
hmm.
make sure that you stay behind in cricket while the rest of your peers go ahead. But I'd like to think that the youngsters out there playing the match today are not thinking about those things. Instead, they go out there and perform their best and perform to the best of their abilities and play like they have nothing to lose.
Yep, nothing to lose.
absolutely. Before we
You're saying,
continue,
yeah.
Ishan, I will just read out the playing 11 of both the teams.
All right.
Uh, because Delhi Capitals is batting first, so I will start with Delhi Capitals. No surprises there. Shafali Verma, Meg Lanning, Alice Capsey, Jemima Rodriguez, Marizane Cap, Annabelle Sutherland, Arundhati Reddy, Minu Mani, Tanya Bhatia, Radha Yadav, Shikha Pandey.
Hmm.
So your spinners mainly would be Radha Yadav and Capsey.
Yeah.
With Mumbai Indians, the team is Haley Matthews, Nat Brandt, Harmanpreet Kaur, Yastika Bhatia, Amelia Kerr, Amanjot Kaur, S. Sanjana, Pooja Vastakar, Shabnam Ismail, Kirtana Balakrishnan, and Saika Ishak.
Mm-hmm. So I think both these teams seem equally balanced if we're looking at it on paper. And
Absolutely.
another fast bowler there is Pooja Vasarkar. I've seen her in action and she's fiery as well. You mentioned pace. She's someone who's always hitting the stumps and, most of the time hitting them and getting those wickets. So Pooja Vasarkar, I think if she's got that new ball, swinging it around at the Chinnaswamy, she'll be a menace, Trisha.
Absolutely, I think, but also again because it's Chinnaswamy, it will be a touch
Yes.
and go for the bowlers, for both pacers and spinners. You know, here ages will fly for boundaries and sixes. I think the captains will have a tough job. Gargi, you are at the ground. Do you think that Delhi has gone for both Delhi and MI have gone for more pacers? Like they have concentrated more on their pace, especially Delhi. They have, in fact, not taken someone like a Jess Jonathan and got in Annabelle Sutherland. Of course, that adds the batting, but it is also a pacer instead of a spinner. Do you think the ground dimensions has got something to do with this decision?
Think
Yes.
think Gagi is
Just
a nice
to
pick.
just to tell our viewers, Gargi is
Yes.
continuously, getting stuck. The network is not 100% because she's right in front of Chinnaswamy, and of course, the mobile jammers will be on. So
No, and
Ishan,
secondly,
the
Trisha, the
same
crowd
question to
build-up
you.
was also way too much. So I don't think we can blame Gagi so much because there was a massive crowd out there, and it's a good thing for WPL. I think it's time to take the final predictions, Risha. I think it's almost game time. So
Absolutely.
I would like to ask you, who are you putting your money on? Where do you think this game is going to go?
I think I would go with Delhi Capitals because I think Marizanne Cap is in ominous form. She's
Hmm.
not in good form. She's not in great form. She's in ominous form. And it's dangerous to have two all-rounders like Annabelle Sutherland and Marizanne Cap on your team.
Yeah.
Um, with Meg Lanning also batting as well as she was doing in WNCL, I I do think that we are going to see a big total, something
Hmm.
around 220, 200 to 220. And
What do you think will be a good
I do
score?
think yeah, I do think 200, 220
You-
could well be the target.
All
I
right.
do think MI will fall short of that.
And are there any youngsters you think will, really perform well tonight?
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to all these youngsters, S. Sanjanas, the Minu Manis, all of them, because this is their platform to showcase their skills. People are watching it on the OTT platform, people are watching it on TV, people are watching them on the ground. This is where I think any young player, it is a dream come true for
Yes.
any young player. It's a huge, huge platform. And I feel the standout performance last year, before WPL started, it's only a few people who knew about Saika Ishak. And then
Yeah.
Saika Ishak became a household name. And I'm hoping and guessing that, this year too, there will be somebody who will obviously catch the eye of the viewers
Yep.
and cricketing world in general.
Absolutely. And Trisha, that sums it up. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to all our viewers as well. Let's hope for a cracker of a game, and Gagi will be there with the post match updates for all of you all. Thank you so much for joining in.